If you're looking for a mindset hack, in this video, I'm going to show you my mindset hack that can drastically change your results. Hi, I'm Laura Evans from Unleash Your Potential, helping people like you to unleash their potential in business and life. And if this is the first time that you found us here on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you get notified when we upload a video every Friday. Now, you may or may not know, but there are two fields of vision which you have. There is foveal vision, and that is like tunnel vision. So that is where you are looking at things just in front of you. And then you have peripheral vision, and that is a much softer focus. So I can be looking at you and I can still see both these hands moving in my peripheral vision, as opposed to if I put myself into foveal vision and move them and stare at a dot on the wall behind the camera, I can't see these hands at all. So you have two fields of vision. Now, you may not have ever realised this, and that's quite normal if you didn't, but that is the two principal fields that you have. Now, if you drive a car, then you drive your car in peripheral vision so that you can see the traffic coming down the side of you, and maybe the child and the dog walking down the pavement, down the side of the road. If you're not doing that yet, then children and teenagers that play computer games, you generally will play them in peripheral vision because you need to take in the whole computer screen, and you need to be using your unconscious mind to play the game. If you paint, some people love painting, you paint in peripheral vision. So for example, I'm not great at painting. I never progressed past painting by number. And painting by number is very foveal in that I concentrate on the brush and the pen and inside the line and get the colour right. However, if you paint, really good professional artists will tell you they don't really know where the art comes from. It just kind of appears on the canvas. They will be painting in peripheral vision. So why is peripheral vision so important? Well, peripheral vision allows us to access the unconscious mind. So for the purpose of learning and education as a parent, teaching your children, whether you are a professional needing to learn and retain information for professional exams or skills you're learning, any kind of context where you are learning, you are best learning in the peripheral vision because it's like opening up the trapdoor to the unconscious mind, which is really funky, right? So when you're learning, you want all of that information to go into the supercomputer. If you're anything like me doing your GCSEs, I spent lots of time outside the exam hall trying to cram at the last minute, trying to remember those last things. The problem with doing that is when you are stressed, which you generally are just before an exam, you'll be in foveal vision, because guess what? You can't do negative emotions in peripheral vision. So I would have been outside the exam hall feeling all stressed, reading my notes and my crib sheets, and so I'll have been in foveal vision, and using foveal vision uses the conscious mind. Remember, the conscious mind is like that old laptop that doesn't work very well and needs a load of updates. It kind of works, but it's not brilliant. Whereas the mass, that is your unconscious mind, is the supercomputer. That is where all your memories are stored. Your memory and short-term memory in your conscious mind is so limited in comparison to the memory in your unconscious mind. We want to do everything and anything we can to get any learning that we do in the unconscious mind. So you are best doing this in peripheral vision. So peripheral vision for learning is brilliant. Imagine opening up the trapdoor to the unconscious mind. It allows the trainer, the teacher, the parent, whoever, to ladle in the information and absolutely aids learning and memory and retention of information. But I just want to go back to the thing I skimmed over but is so important, and that is being in peripheral vision dampens down negative emotions. It is almost, not quite, but almost impossible to do negative emotions while you are in peripheral vision. I remember giving my aunt this tip when she was going to do the eulogy at my grandmother's funeral. I said to her, stay in peripheral vision. You'll be much better at managing your emotions. Your emotions are less likely to get the better of you because you dampen them down. I mentioned in an earlier video, one of our master practitioners, Louise, does a lot of coaching with sports people. And the problem with sports people, and all of us in general to be fair, is when you're nervous and anxious and stressed, you don't perform as well. It's a well-documented fact. And what she had with one of her clients was she was a CrossFit client, and I don't do CrossFit, but apparently there's like a countdown timer before they actually start the exercises. And she said this woman literally used to watch the clock, and she'd see the counter going down, and she'd hear the beep. And she said, and that beep really, really used to wind her up, and she'd be like, oh my goodness, by the time the time came, and she'd be all over the place. So one of the things, she did lots with her, but one of the things she taught her was to put herself in peripheral vision to dampen down those emotions. Now, how do you deliberately put yourself in peripheral vision? Well, this is what you do. So as long as it's safe to do so while you're watching this video, I want you to pick a tiny dot to look at. A dot on your computer, a key maybe on your laptop, or a speck of dirt on the wall behind your laptop. Please, for health and safety, don't look at lights. I've got the lighting rig up in here to make sure you can see me, but don't look at lights when you're doing this. But just pick something to look at. So I've got a drawing pin on the wall behind this camera, so I'm going to use that. And when you stare at that dot, in my case, my drawing pin, really, really stare at it like nothing else in the world matters. That's you in foveal vision. Now keep looking at that spot, and then just start, as you're looking at that spot, start to notice what's around that spot, and maybe notice what's like a meter either side of it. Still looking at that dot, but notice what's just either side of it, and keep looking at that dot, that spot, and as you do that, notice how as you bring your line of sight round, still looking at that dot, but now you should be able to see what's either side of you, and that is you in peripheral vision. I really hope peripheral vision can help you like it's helped me. And if you're interested in learning more about mindset, self-improvement and NLP, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you're notified every Friday when we release a new video.